Hello, welcome to Rocky Mountain Views. I am your host, Martha Thompson. Now today we're going to be talking about an event that takes place once a year that is such a wonderful experience that it has historically made even the top 100 events that take place in North America, and I can't imagine that it won't make it again for that next year. And I am talking about the Colorado Balloon Classic, and it happens once a year here over Labor Day weekend, and today we are pleased to have the president and CEO of the Classic, Ms. Patsy Buchwald. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Martha, for having me. You know I love to talk about the Classics. So.
I know you do, and I don't blame you. I like to talk about it too. So there's a lot of things to cover about this because most of us that are in southern Colorado are pretty well aware of it, but we have an audience that has not had the joy of being here for that event. So I really want to talk about everything that you do, but there is literally an audible gasp that takes place when those balloons are up. I can't explain what it does. I'm not a pilot. I haven't been up in a balloon many times, but it's just joyous.
It's magic. It really is magic. When you watch that many balloons lift off, it's surreal. It's kind of like someone photoshopped them into your life when you're there.
That's true.
So, and not everywhere in the world do people get to see hot air balloons. So we're very blessed that we're able to do it here in Colorado Springs. But we have a worldwide reach. We have pilots that have come from different places outside of the U.S. to fly with us, and obviously many places within. But we have a lot of spectators that come from all over the world as well. So it's our honor to be doing the 37th Colorado Balloon Classic.
Well, I want to talk about how you got started in this, because this is a remarkable thing that you have created for all of us. Tell me about your history and how you got involved in this, because I know it existed before you got there.
It did.
Okay,
and
so let's talk about
a lot of people
that.
Believe that you have a destiny in life or you're predestined to something, and for those who believe that, I'm your woman. Because I was raised in Northeast Georgia, absolute hillbilly, and who would have never in her life, I didn't even know what a hot air balloon was. I didn't fly on an airplane until I was an adult. But I was so fascinated by aviation that I became an airplane pilot, in part to honor my husband who had died of cancer. So he was a pilot, and to continue his love and his passion. And that path led me to Colorado Springs. I actually opened a pilot supply store and sold to all the military bases as well as the private pilots here in town. Through that, I met one of the founders of the Balloon Classic. His name is Dewey Reinhardt. He still lives here in Colorado Springs. He asked me if I would help him with it, if I would volunteer. So I can assure you now I'm very careful what I volunteer to do because it could lead you down a road you just have no idea. But it has truly been my passion, and the results are amazing. I don't do it by myself. My family has always been supportive of it. My sweetheart, Ken Tatalini, is a balloon pilot, ironically, very supportive. Yes, it works well. He understands my job.
Yes, he does.
I have a leadership team of about 20 people. They're all volunteers. We do have a board of directors. And then we work with between 500 and 800 volunteers a year.
Wow.
So this is not just my passion. It is the passion of a lot of people to make this happen. And part of that passion is the reason that we can keep the event free to the public. There's no admission charge to come to our hot air balloon event in Memorial Park in beautiful downtown Colorado Springs.
Nothing.
Nothing. We don't even have a gate. So
Wow.
yeah, we're very blessed to have so much support with all of our sponsors, and we're excited this year because we have 13 additional balloons above what we had last year. So we have,
for heaven's sake.
Yes, we have 83 balloons this year. So, and some special shapes, some surprises. We have a Sunny Boy. It's a big sunshine, and it's actually flown and owned by a female pilot.
Oh, outstanding.
Yes. We have Gus T. Guppy, who's owned by Larry Kanash, and We're hoping the guppy does a splash and dash over in Prospect Lake. So that's when the balloons take off and they go over and they try to touch down in the water and then lift back out. And that's
spectacular.
That's another one of those times that people are cheering and clapping and fascinated. If the pilot doesn't do it well, we refer to it as a splunk and dunk. But we go for the splash and dash. That's what we're going for, is the splash and dash. So that will be a great photo opportunity. And remember to enter our photo contest. You might win a ride next year at the Balloon Classic. But to get that guppy balloon in Prospect Lake with Pikes Peak Mountain behind it,
fun.
Photographer's dream.
Because you do have contests like that. You have everything from the photography contest for both experienced photographers, professional photographers, and amateurs. I think that when we met, when we first talked, you told me that you've had someone as young as 4 years old.
Yes. Yeah, a 4-year-old. We have had a children's division and do that. Last year we just added a video contest. So we have edited and unedited, and how fun for us to get to see how people can be so creative with what they're seeing at the Balloon Classic.
Yes.
So we have that as well this year, and that's available. Cool. Yeah. The Gazette, our local newspaper, we've partnered with them, and we're having a pre-event photo contest, which we've never done before. It's called The Way It Was. You enter any year of photo you have from the Balloon Classic.
And from past years.
From past years.
Okay.
And then they'll have a selection where it's selected, and the winner of the Way It Was contest will get a flight in this year's Balloon Classic. So 2 photo contests going. The Way It Was prior to the event, and the way it is this year after the event.
And coloring contests for all the little ones?
Yes, we have. We're actually not going to make it a contest this year. We're just going to do coloring pages for the children.
Okay.
And on our website, we have numerous opportunities for children. Lots of coloring pages that we've had previous years, and still we'll get this one up in the next week or so. We have a recommended children's reading list about hot air balloons. We developed a badge for the Girl Scouts. Because part of my passion, being a pilot, is that I want to get more young women involved in aviation. This Girl Scout patch is designed that it can be used by anybody, anywhere that has Girl Scouts and have balloon pilots. All the requirements and recommendations are all on our website. No charge, just click on children and a lot of things to get kids involved. And those were the younger kids. We have contests for the older kids too, the photo contest, but we have a logo contest. For years we have done an event logo. We have a corporate logo that we brand to that, but we have an event logo each year. And that used to be, there used to be a charge to enter that contest, but we thought we really wanted that to expand more. So there's no charge. There are some requirements, though. Just because you're good with crayons, we need a little bit more.
A little more expertise.
Because I'm not the best with the computers, so I need you to help me a little coming in. Those requirements are on. We will announce this year's winner in, I believe it's December. I think the deadline is November. I'd have to check to make sure I don't want to give you the wrong information. It's on our website, balloonclassic.com. And anybody can enter. It's an online entry. You can email everything to us, so you don't have to be right here in Colorado Springs. And then that logo is used for the following year as our event logo. On our T-shirts, all of our merchandise, on so many things. So it's a really big push. This
art is just beautiful, and that's from last year?
That's from one of the students at Pikes Peak Community College.
That's just stunning.
Yeah, we work with Gina Sharon, one of the instructors at the college, and her students in the graphic design class do a project, as a class project, and they design our poster for each year. And we are so impressed with those students' works that now we choose one of the arts, one of their class project submissions as the cover of our official souvenir program as well. So every student that completes that project gets a recommendation from the Balloon Classic, and as you mentioned earlier, one of the top 100 events in North America.
That's something to be incredibly proud of. That has to make you feel just amazing.
It does, and it's such an honor that with having that award for us, that we can pay it forward forward with that award. These
Yep.
students are getting a letter of recommendation from us, and then the students that we actually use their work, we obviously give them a stronger recommendation, but all the students can use it in their portfolio to advance their careers. So it's our honor to be able to help advance them. So lots of ways to be involved with the Balloon Classic. We're not just a 3-day event. We're in the community and involved with students and children and lots of people doing a lot of things in the community.
Now, without making money at a gate, how is this supported? How do you do that?
Some
How do you do
days
that?
I ask myself, how are we going to do that again
Yes.
this year? It costs almost $500,000 to produce the show every year. And without having a gate, yes, there are some nights that I question my sanity and I wonder, how am I going to pull this magic number out of the magic hat? And who has that magic hat? Where is that? Or the money tree? Where's
That's
that
an
one?
enormous amount of funding.
It is. But because we are so community-minded, businesses and individuals are very generous with advertising with us. We sell a lot of ads in our program and sponsorships. So a lot of days I feel like I'm just a salesperson. I shouldn't say just a salesperson. That's a big job.
No, that is a big
yes,
job.
I am
That's a
an
huge
incredible salesperson.
Yes.
And we don't take donations because we are a for-profit company raising money and awareness for nonprofits. So if someone wants to donate because they like the work we do and they've attended for years and want to help us, we design some kind of special sponsorship for them.
That's super.
Yeah, we find out what they want to do. Maybe their family's coming in from out of town and we can gift them with, build the sponsorship around parking passes and some extra tickets and invite them to our reception. So they would get a special sponsorship belt. And with enough coffee, we can design anything.
So that's how you do those things. Now, there are so many other things, though, that you do throughout the year. Let's talk about the 99s. Let's talk about other organizations that you're involved in, and also what the Balloon Classic does for our area, because you have people coming from everywhere to this event. So
we do. We like to honor people and recognize their, what they do best and what they're given to us that we can give back forward. I am a member of the Pikes Peak 99s, and that's a chapter of the International 99s. The 99s are a group of licensed female pilots. Our first president was actually Amelia Earhart.
Wow.
And the reason we're not called the 99s is because Amelia Earhart invited every licensed female pilot in the world to come to a meeting. And please don't ask me the year because I don't remember.
Okay.
It was before I was born and before I was a pilot. And 99 showed up. So that's how they thought, well, that's perfect, would be the 99s. And it actually has been a very fun thing because then a student pilot, we reference her as a 66 because she might be upside down a few times. And then spouses name badge says that they are 49 and a half.
Okay.
So it's a fun group. It's worldwide, International 99s, if you Google it or look it up on the internet.
I'm going to now.
Yeah, a lot of fun members. We have members that fly everything from the biggest airliner down to the smallest plane. So it's one of those groups that no matter where a woman goes in the world, if she's a member of the 99s, you always have someone there that you can reach out to. If you were to need something, or if you're just a little lonely, or if you want to get involved in some way. What our chapter does, the Pikes Peak 99s, is we honor, this is the 6th or the 7th year that we're honoring one of the women flying at our event, because women still are a minority in aviation. And we have a different criteria each year. And if we chose the woman who had the most pilot in command, the most flight hours, it would probably be the same woman each year.
Sure.
If we chose a woman who driven the longest farthest distance, it very well could be the same woman every year. So we don't publish what the criteria is for the winning the award. The 99s chapter decides when they get the selection on who. This year is a lady actually from Colorado, Tammy Foley. She worked very hard and flew very safely to meet the flight criteria and requirements so she could fly the Balloon Classic because she really wanted to fly at Colorado's largest air show.
Wow.
So for that, we're honoring her, and she is our Pikes Peak 99 recipient of the year.
Now, do you have something that you honor her at the Classic with, or is that separate?
We do a write-up in our souvenir program, so it becomes part of aviation history. We do press releases back to international as well as in our media kit. When we started, we were doing some kind of random things, and as we settled into the award and asked the ladies what did they really want, and we don't ask each lady now, but we did a survey of the female pilots, and it's a very nice plaque. And sometimes people think, oh, I've got enough plaques, but this is a very unique. It's from woman to woman.
Yes.
It's from pilot to pilot. And these women are passionate about flying. They love sharing their experiences, and we're just, honored that we can honor them and recognize them for what they're doing.
That's lovely. Now let's talk about where people have come from.
It's
I
just
find it staggering.
today, my board of directors and our leadership team are working diligently on a Saturday since we're getting very close to showtime.
Yes.
And today, part of the goal at our office was to process our VIP memberships. And that's where people go on our website and they can purchase a VIP parking pass so they can drive right into Memorial Park. They don't have to be concerned. As you know, the police department are closing some streets for our balloon glows, and it's a big change for us. People are used to being able to drive to their favorite spot and get out, and the whole generation of 5 families come in. So it's going to be a little nerve-wracking for some, so people are buying more parking passes this year than ever. We seriously, just today we've processed from northern Washington, from Miami, Florida, from New Hampshire, from San Diego, and everywhere in between. So they're typing as fast as they can. We just got the parking passes in yesterday, so we'll be mailing them Monday to make sure these guests get their parking passes. These are people who are driving in. They're driving here. Some of those are like 2 days, and they're planning their vacations and taking their time to come see Colorado Springs, but their destination is the Balloon Classic. When we, earlier this year, there was some discussion about whether the Balloon Classic would be able to continue in Colorado Springs, and we had people calling our office. They had purchased their airline tickets already to come.
I'm not surprised.
And our team, sometimes we're so focused on making this air show be as ideal as we can, and there's a lot of moving parts. We have about 100 vendors, everything from food to, yesterday a guy came in who's a glass blower. He has gorgeous jewelry. You and I will just have to check this out. I thought of you when I saw the piece he was wearing. I didn't think it was appropriate that I asked him to gift it to me, but
no, we can shop.
Yes, but I did make a note of where his booth is.
Good.
And we have a children's a zone where there's jumpy things that you pay a small fee. We have human hamster balls. Oh my gosh, Martha.
Those are fun, aren't they?
Those are just a riot. I love them so much that this year we added some that are smaller, but they're in water. I'm trying to get into the lake, but I thought I maybe should take it one step at a time here.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. We have so much going on at the Classic. So it's, because we have so much going on, we sometimes forget the impact that we have as an event. We forget that there are people traveling from all over the world to come to our event. We forget that the economic impact that it has not only on the city but on the region. In 1998, the city staff, Colorado Springs city staff, did an economic impact without the Balloon Classic's knowledge. That the results which were published in the city council meetings was in 1998 the economic impact was $9.7 million.
And that's a long time ago.
We're thinking it's probably a little bit more now.
That's 15 years, so let's see.
15 years. As some discussions came up with the city this year, and as the city grows and changes and as the Balloon Classic grows, all of us go through some growing pains.
Sure.
We were very honored that the El Paso County, the commissioners and some other staff, including the sheriff, called and offered to help us get through this transitional year. And the El Paso County commissioners are sponsoring our Balloon Glow. So our Balloon Glow this year is titled, we are titling it the El Paso County Balloon Glow.
That's beautiful.
It is, and we are so grateful to the City of Colorado Springs. I mean, they do give us a large sponsorship. They help us a lot. We're so grateful to the commissioners, and they're so excited that every commissioner that is in town Saturday and Sunday at the Balloon Classic that evening are going to be on our stage. I think they're going to. I think they said they'll flip a coin to see who gets to welcome the spectators to the Balloon Classic, because El Paso County truly acknowledges the impact that we have on this region. So
it's enormous. Just to find lodging, to dine out, there's so much that happens. I mean, you're hard pressed to get a room here.
Yeah, we
over
recommend
Labor Day weekend
that you do it in advance.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten it yet, you might want to call friends.
Yes. And please don't call my office. We don't have any rooms. We're sold out.
So that's, I would think that it would be an enormous loss if we did not have you here. I can't even fathom that, and I think the public outcry would be deafening.
Well, I cannot promise you that we'll be in Memorial Park next year.
Okay.
We have actually several offers from several cities to move the event there.
To another city?
To another city. And then we have some offers within the region. So if it becomes financially not feasible for us to stay inside the city limits, rather than shut down the event, we will take it somewhere else. But
we can't have that.
I hope
we need to figure out a way to make that happen.
It's going to be a lot of work, but if that's what it takes to keep us up in the air and full of hot air, then just have to take on that next challenge, because we do have such an impact, and we are such a family tradition that we don't want the dynamics of some financing and the challenge of working in the city
around the event itself.
Yes,
is that
if we can't stand in alignment with the city, we would want to leave while we're in good standing, and but we hope to continue. That's the main thing, because we're touching a lot of lives. I shared with you a very emotional experience this week from a senior lady who called about the impact we've had on her life, and her name is Barbara. I won't announce her last name, but her name is Barbara. And it was a very emotional day, because she called and shared with me how much I and the Balloon Classic have meant to her and to her family. She has less than 6 months to live, but she's still wanting to get her pin, her patch, and her calendar.
It is something that is so such a paramount event for so many people, that it does give people something to live for. We talked about, when I met you, we talked about this being the type of event that is on people's bucket list. To go up in a hot air balloon, even to be present for one, as you said, not everyone has a hot air balloon event, and it literally takes your breath away in awe and joy. It
is magical. We still have a couple of balloons that need to be sponsored. It's $600. You get, and that sponsorship form is on our website, balloonclassic.com, so you can read all the details.
Okay.
But if you don't want to do the sponsorship, if you're not a company or you don't need the advertising, we have a new pay ride operator coming into town. Another business coming to Colorado Springs to do business with us. Very excited, because that's another little economic impact for us here in Colorado Springs. It's Rainbow Riders. They're our official pay ride operator. They're coming from primarily Albuquerque. They have several businesses and business locations in several states. And if it's on your bucket list and you want to fly, go to our website, balloonclassic.com. On our front page, it says click here, and it will take you through. The cost is $295 per person. But if the weather's bad and we don't fly, we're going to fly. It's going to be a perfect year. Then you wouldn't be charged. But we only have 4 balloons scheduled to do that. So if it's on your bucket list, get on that website, reserve that flight.
I like that.
And part of the magic of flying at the Balloon Classic for your bucket list is you'll be flying with 80-something other balloons. You'll be flying with Pikes Peak as your background. You may get lucky and get to Splash and Dash. Depends on where the winds take you. But there's nowhere that's more beautiful than Colorado Springs to fly in a hot air balloon.
I can't imagine. I'm going to actually be at the event this year. I've never been at the event.
Well, welcome to the Classic.
Thank you. And I look forward to it. So this takes place Saturday, Sunday, Monday, yes?
Labor Day weekend.
And so how is that split up as far as your calendar? What's the flow of events on Friday or on Saturday, Sunday to Monday?
Each morning session we have the same hours and we lift off at the same time, but we do have a different concert each session.
Okay.
So our opening ceremony is at 6 a.m. And I know that sounds really early. I'm actually a night person, so I acknowledge that it is early, but it's only 3 days a year. So, but get there before 6.
So strong.
Get there before 6. Wow. We have that traffic that, let's buy that VIP parking pass.
Yes.
But 6 a.m. Our liftoff is scheduled for about 7 a.m. Because we are an air show, we have to wait for official sunrise. So just because it's daylight doesn't mean officially we can lift off yet.
Okay.
So we have official sunrise, and we have we do our national anthem. We have the presentation of the colors from AMR, our American Ambulance Response Team here in town, and then the balloons lift off. The concessions are going. You can smell those funnel cakes. Funlicious. Craig Reed has been with us. Oh my gosh, I don't know how long. I can smell it as I talk about it. We have the human hamster balls going. It's just a family event. Salem Communication, 102.7 FM is the radio station to stay dialed into for that. KRDO 13 is our TV station, and they're broadcasting live all 5 sessions, so all 3 mornings. I kind of got off on a different track here. All 3 mornings and both evenings, and they're giving away, if you come to Balloon Classic and sign up, you get a chance to win a trip to Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Now, you don't have to buy anything, but just for coming to the Classic and enjoying it, you might win a vacation from
Mexico.
To Mexico. I've seen the resort brochure. Wow, it's gorgeous. So our morning sessions, back to what you asked me. Our morning sessions, we start at 6 o'clock and we go till about 10. Now, you're welcome to stay in the park all day, but most of us are going to go home and take a nap.
I would think so.
Or go up to Pikes Peak, or to go to Gardens of God, or visit other places here in the region.
And go to breakfast and see our beautiful town here, because there's so many wonderful things to do and places to go. Go to Old Colorado City, go to Manitou Springs and support them after the flooding.
Right.
There's so many great things to do and to support our local businesses that have struggled through fires and now flooding.
Right.
So that would be fantastic to do in the in-between times.
Then be back at the park Saturday and Sunday at 5 p.m.
Okay, that's a better hour for me.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about that.
We'll have another concert going on. We support local artists here in town by doing, or the region by doing that. Then our Balloon Glow, we will be checking the weather, and unlike some events, the public is invited to all of our pilot briefings. So you'll hear everything that we're telling our pilots, and you can discuss that with the pilots, because you can walk right up to their balloons at our event. So then the balloons will start laying out about 7:30. We will glow. Now from 8 to 9. And some people may not know what a balloon glow is.
Right.
So the balloon glow is when you stand the balloons up, but they don't lift off. And if you see it from above, it's kind of like looking at a big Christmas tree, all the lights that are on it, and they're twinkling.
Very much
they're
like
glowing. And we have the crowd. Our announcer's name is Donna Campanelli. And she has, I guess, the crowd involved, and we do a countdown. So we'll go from 5, usually just from 5 down, and we don't say burn, we say glow.
So there's something to do all day long, all weekend long. You can't lose. There's tons of stuff to do in between. And the bottom line is that, Patsy, you just bring us pure joy, and I'm so grateful that you're here. We've loved having you here today. We're going to get some tape out of the Classic today, and we'll put that up on our site on Labor Day weekend as well. It's been an absolute joy to sit with you today. I'm thrilled that you're here.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope to see you and everybody out there at the Balloon Classic.
Join us out there. We're going to have a great time, a blast. We're going to eat really cool stuff. We're going to watch kids and hamster balls. It's going to be fun nonstop. Come see us. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.